Some F1 drivers grew up so poor, their families had to sell their home just to keep racing. Others were so rich, their daddy bought an entire F1 team for them. This is the crazy world of Formula One, where some fight to survive and others pay to win. Today, we'll race through the insane stories of richest versus poorest F1 drivers and find out if money can really buy greatness. The underdogs, drivers who started with nothing. We've got to kick things off with the men who came from nothing. These guys didn't have the luxury of private jets or million-dollar karting programs. They had modest homes, second-hand carts, worn-out tires, and in some cases, no home at all. Picture this: Kerpen, Germany. A small town. Dad's a bricklayer. Mum runs the snack bar at the kart track. No family fortune, no trust fund, just a kid obsessed with speed. Michael Schumacher's first kart wasn't a sleek, polished machine with chrome fittings. It was built from spare parts his father scrounged together. Picture an old lawnmower engine bolted to a homemade frame. This was racing on a budget so tight it squeaked. And here's the kicker: Michael often raced on tyres other kids had already thrown away. Imagine that. You finish your session, chuck your bald rubber in the bin, and then little Schumi digs them out and proceeds to beat you with them. Talk about humiliation. The family sacrificed everything, and in 1990, Michael became German Formula 3 champion. Then, in 1991, Eddie Jordan gave him a chance in F1. The rest is history. 7 world championships, widely regarded as one of the greatest to ever do it. Lewis Hamilton grew up as a council house kid in Stevenage, England. Parents split up. He lived with his dad, Anthony, who worked 4 jobs at once just to keep little Lewis in karting. We're talking everything from washing dishes to IT gigs to hammering for sale signs into lawns. Oh, and when that wasn't enough, he remortgaged the house just so his son could chase a dream in a sport dominated by rich kids. Lewis didn't have hotel suites and private chefs. The kid slept on couches in between races, but every bit of Dad's effort, every job and every tired night helped Lewis grow and build a career that would eventually put him level with Schumacher at 7 world titles. His journey shows that with hard work, family love and courage, a boy from a small town can conquer a sport full of rich families and fast cars. Now let's talk Seb. Everyone remembers him as the clean-cut Red Bull golden boy who crushed the sport with 4 straight championships. But rewind the tape, and you'll find a scrappy little German kid in Heppenheim with parents who scraped by just to fuel his karting obsession. Seb's dad, Norbert, was a carpenter who literally built Sebastian's first kart from spare parts. Not only that, he turned the family garden into a mini racetrack. But karting isn't cheap. To save money, the family hauled themselves around Europe in a caravan, towing a cart trailer, living off sandwiches, and praying the engine didn't blow. That was the Vettel reality. But they never lost hope. Because of their support and Sebastian's hard work, he became one of the best F1 drivers ever. If Hamilton's story tugs your heartstrings, Esteban Ocon's will rip them out. His father, Laurent, ran a small garage in Évreux, France. Business was modest, but karting bills, not modest at all. So the Ocons made a decision that sounds insane to anyone outside motorsport. They sold their house. They sold the family garage. They bought a caravan. And for years, they lived in that caravan, traveling race to race.
Sold the garage, sold the house. The house and the garage was the same place anyway. That's where I grew up as well.
They sold it to support your racing?
Yeah.
All to keep Esteban on track. While other kids lounged in mansions with their own sim rigs, Esteban did his homework in the back of a caravan. That's sacrifice. That's insane. That's Formula One at its rawest. And somehow, against all odds, it worked. Ocon clawed his way through the ranks. And today, he's a Grand Prix winner. The daddy's boys. When money buys the dream. Of course, Formula One has another side. The side where you don't sell your house. You just buy a team. This is the land of the pay driver, the land where talent is optional, and daddy's millions are mandatory. Get ready to roll your eyes. Nicholas Latifi. Nice guy, polite, Canadian. But let's be honest, his racing career wouldn't exist without Safina Foods. His dad's food empire didn't just pay for karting, it bankrolled his entire F1 journey. When Williams was drowning in debt, Latifi Sr. bailed them out with sponsorship money and loans. And what do you know? Nicholas landed a seat. Coincidence? Please. Now, in fairness, Nicholas wasn't useless. He racked up the necessary super license points. He even had flashes of competence. But Pay Driver is the brand, and it's stuck like glue. Ask any fan, and they'll tell you Latifi was hired for one reason: his dad's checkbook. Oh, and let's not forget Abu Dhabi 2021. One crash, one safety car, one title decided. Latifi's legacy isn't overtaking moves, it's accidentally rewriting history. Now, here's where it gets awkward. Lando Norris is rich. Stupid rich. His dad, Adam Norris, has a fortune around $250 million thanks to investments in finance. And yes, Daddy paid for everything early on, but, and this is a big but, Lando can actually drive. By 14, he was the youngest ever karting world champion. He cleaned house in Formula Renault. He dominated European Formula 3, and by the time McLaren gave him a shot at just age 19, it wasn't charity, it was necessity. Now, does the money help? Absolutely. Lando's early career was turbocharged by resources most kids could only dream of. But unlike Latifi, he didn't just ride the wave, he carved his own place with pace. Norris said that his dad's help wasn't a gift, it was an investment, something he had to repay with good results on the track. So, while you can call him a daddy's boy, you also have to call him one of the best talents of his generation. He's proof that money opens doors, but you still have to walk through them flat out. Oh, Nikita. Where do we start? Russian oligarch's son. Dad worth over $2 billion. Uralchem plastered all over Haas cars. If ever there was a poster boy for money over merit, it was Mazepin. The nickname Mazespin didn't come from nowhere. He spun so often it became a meme. The team even gave him a toy spinning top as a joke. That's how bad it got. And then came the controversies. On-track crashes and off-track scandals. Fans didn't like him. The paddock didn't rate him. And when Russia invaded Ukraine, Haas cut ties with the Mazepins completely and dropped Nikita faster than you can say, Pay Driver. Nikita's career is the ultimate cautionary tale. Money can buy you a seat, but it can't buy talent or respect. Now, if you're enjoying this deep dive into F1's caravan kids and billionaire brats, drop a comment below. Please tap that like button and hit subscribe for more spicy Formula One stories. And now, the king of the daddy's boys, Lance Stroll. His father, Lawrence Stroll, isn't just rich, he's worth nearly $4 billion. Fashion empire, luxury lifestyle, private racetrack at home. Lance didn't just have the door opened for him. Daddy built an entire palace around him. When junior categories got tough, Lawrence put him in Prima, the best junior team money could buy. When Lance needed an F1 seat, Daddy bought the entire Racing Point team, rebranded it, and turned it into Aston Martin. You heard me. Lawrence Stroll literally bought a Formula One team so his son could keep racing. That's not privilege, that's monarchy. Now, to be fair, Lance isn't hopeless. He's scored podiums. He's beaten Sebastian Vettel on occasion. But let's be real, if his last name wasn't Stroll, he wouldn't be anywhere near this sport. The entire grid knows it. The fans know it. Lance probably knows it. And yet, here we are, Aston Martin running with Daddy's billions, while Lance consistently underperforms. Here's the brutal truth. Money buys opportunities. It buys karts, it buys teams, it buys entire championships. But money cannot buy talent. Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, these guys bled for it. Their families sacrificed everything. They weren't supposed to make it, but they did. So, can money buy greatness? No, it buys you the car, but you still have to drive it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Formula One is the most gloriously unfair, frustrating, ridiculous, and brilliant sport in the world.